Val. It's PodGis. We're podding. We're gissing. Gonna check these levels real quick. Oh, that's some good levels. Mm-hmm. Level so good, I'm gonna make a stank face. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, welcome back to Which One's Bagger with Cletus McFadus. Which one's bagger? Tube of toothpaste or a skateboard? Call in at 555-555-5555 and let us know which one's bagger. Coming in hot. How were your 2 weeks of my absence? Did you miss me? Hi, hello. What gracious day upon you. And unto the Lord may so shall it be. May we all bless this bounty in his name. Welcome to PodGis. My name is Val, and I'm a comedian. If you know, you know. If you're an old-time listener, I didn't have to say that part, but I'm just gonna sit here hoping that there's like one or two of you who are new people. Hi. Sorry if the beginning really caught you by surprise, but I might as well show you the full Val experience right out of the gate. You know what I'm talking about? Still, I don't know about that still, dog. I apologize for the spotty episode posts. I hope I haven't thrown you completely off the routine, but my routine has also been thrown. Okay, this isn't a power move. I'm not chopping up these episode releases out of spite. I've just been, the first absence was Europe, so that's a good excuse. Second excuse, for the missed opportunity last week, I A, got busy, and B, got really depressed. That's all you need to know. I'm gearing up for my stand-up comedy special taping, the first, sort of my career. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll talk about my first special taping, quote unquote, in a little bit. But first, let me just say, the pressure I was putting on myself had gotten to me. I was severely depressed. I was also in Waterloo. I was out of town for a set of gigs on a Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, your girl's global. And by global, I mean the Tri-City area of Southern Ontario, Canada. Yeah. So there was a time period there where I was putting so much pressure on this special that I am taping this weekend. This podcast will release on the 12th, and my shows are on the 15th, 16th. So if you're in Toronto, get your tickets before they sell out. Comedybar.ca. I am taping a special with 800 Pound Gorilla, which is a prominent comedy record label from America, which for a Canadian, that's pretty big. The Canadian industry, the glass ceiling is so low. It's not so low, it's just so goddamn competitive. And it can be the hardest thing sometimes to gain the attention of our American comrades down there who have all the money as well. Oh, the misfortune that they have so much money and we are but paupers here in Canada. And I'm not talking about amyl nitrate poppers. You know what I'm saying? Shit, dog. Some word association here for your gay ass. But anyways, yeah, I was putting so much pressure on myself, and I hadn't had a lot of opportunities to run the full hour. And I was really worried. It felt like I was doing it all alone. Nobody was answering any emails. I was just kind of organizing and promoting, and it's in this industry, when you're a comedian, especially a Canadian one, you have to wear a great many hats. So many hats of producer and promoter and marketer and business person and of course comedian. And us comedians would rather just focus on the last thing and let the rest be taken care of for us. But that is unfortunately not the case, and a lot of artists in a lot of industries surely understand. But it felt like I was getting no fucking help on this big thing that I had enlisted help specifically 4, and it was getting to me where I was just like, oh, this is gonna suck, and it's all because nobody helped, you know? And I was just thinking real negative, and then I went and did a set of shows in Waterloo for these students, and they didn't go as well as I had hoped. I won't lie, because I did it with 2 other comics who are Instagram and TikTok famous, and me, I have but a humble 30,000 TikTok followers and just under 10,000 Instagrammers. Um, but that ain't shit compared to them, and all these students were here to see them, and they weren't there to see me, and so it was kind of a weird experience because my material, it's I was performing for kids, and I was like, why aren't these kids? And by kids, I mean first year university students. And I was like, am I out of touch with the children? I was so worried I was out of touch with the children. That's the fan. I turned on the fan because I'm sweltering in here. So anyways, got all up in my head, and so I had a show on Friday on the weekend in Hamilton, and my crowd showed up for that. And that is a reassuring thing because I got to run my full hour. I went way over. I did an hour 15. I have all this material, and it's a good problem to have because I can shave all the stuff that's like, instead of it's A minus stuff, you know? I can shave the A minus stuff to leave only the A and the A plus and the A plus plus stuff, you know? Which is a great mindset to be in going into this last week. I still need a lot of help. That hopefully I can get if I scream my head off enough at the powers that be and the people who have offered. But that is neither here nor there. So come to my special taping. If you can't make it, then you'd better check it out when it comes out because it's gonna be lights out. It's gonna be the most lights out special of any one of all times. Okay? So, it's gonna be called So Brave. And the taping is this Friday. Alval's Big Brave taping, comedy taping of comedy. Not that whole title, I don't know. Just look up those keywords if you really need help. I'll tell you about my first, and it's quote unquote a taping. Doesn't count. I don't count it because what year was this? How old was I? I had like a shagadelic Scooby-Doo shaggy haircut. A bowl cut with little wing tips coming out at the ears. I'm gonna say a decade ago. Yeah, I'm gonna say roughly a decade ago. 10 years ago. I decided I would self-produce my own special. And the crowd showed up for it. It was a one night. Oh, was it 2 nights? It was a one night only thing. And I did really well. All my friends came out and some of their friends' friends. And at the time, it was my best stuff. And I was really proud of it. But I had recruited several months earlier. I acted on this short film, an indie student thing alongside this one guy. And we hit it off. And he told me that he was also a director, producer. And he showed me some of his stuff. He showed me like a couple music videos that I was impressed with. So I was like, sight unseen, you're hired. You're my boy. You and me, let's do this. You take care of all the technical stuff. I'll do the funnies. And we're going to be rich, bitch. But little did I know, I had hired a raging alcoholic in the midst of a complete life meltdown. He had hid it so well from me, and he had also taken advantage of my generosity, this guy. So, we taped the special. There were 3 cameras, one of which was better quality than the other 2. So every time you cut back and forth, it was so obvious. And you're like, oh no, that's weird. Pretty jarring. And then, and he didn't mic the audience. And so, these are things that I probably should have asked around in the comedy community for help or guidance about. But I also just blindly put my faith in the guy. He spoke with so much confidence. And the deal was I pay him 50% on the night of the taping and of our agreed fee, which I think was $1,000. And then I pay him the second half when it's done, when the editing is done, when it's ready to go, when it's ready to broadcast. And so while we're in post-production, he keeps sending me new versions, and I'm noticing that, between version 1 and 2, he's made 3 edits out of the numerous notes I sent him, and then between edit 2 and 3, no changes. And he thought I wouldn't notice. And so I'm starting to get frustrated with this guy. I want to meet him. We organize a meet, and I show up on Saturday at 2 p.m., and I ring the doorbell, and I knock 1,000 times, and I call his phone. Nothing's happening. No response. He's MIA. His roommate finally answers the door, and he's like, what do you want? I'm like, is blank there? And he was like, oh, yeah, let me wake him up. Wake him up. And then he comes to the front door, and he reeks of beer, and he is so clearly hungover. He's just like a truck smashed him in the head. He looks like he got in a fight with several hammers. He looks like he got in a concussion off with a goat. And so he's like so faded, and the meeting is just a complete wash. I tried to sit down with him to like walk through what needs to be changed, because that was the intent behind this meeting. And like, we get 5 minutes before I get frustrated with him, and I'm like, you're clearly in no shape to do this. Let's reschedule. And so he messages me shortly after and says, hey, times are tough. Can I get the second half? I'm struggling to pay rent, blah, blah, blah. Things are just really rough for me right now. I'd really appreciate it if I got an advance. And he appealed to the kindness in my heart. And so I said, okie dokie, no problem. Here's your second half. And then, boom, he disappeared. He just disappeared on me. We never signed a contract. It was a gentleman's handshake agreement. I made so many precautionary neglect mistakes. I understand that now. It was in my youth, and I was like, if I just put my blind trust in this guy, he won't take me for granted. Boy, was I wrong. And so I was left with this shoddy. It wasn't a good special. The video quality, like I said, would change from shot to shot. And despite my begging him to turn up the volume on the audience so it doesn't sound like I'm bombing with a shit-eating grin on my face, which I didn't bomb that night. It was special. It was fantastic. But it looks like I'm bombing with a shit-eating grin on my face. And so it was just unusable in the end. And by the time things had just sort of dissipated and concluded, I remember I threatened him with a small claims lawsuit that was such a bluff. And he called me on it. He was like, yeah, what are you going to do? Do it. Do it. Take me to court. I won't show up because I drank a 2-6 of vodka the night before, you know? So that special was a complete wash. What did I call it? What was I going to call it? Do I remember? What was I going to call that thing? Was there a name for it, or was I just going to call it Alval? I think there was a name for it. Wow, I can't remember. Ooh, I can't remember. I've forgotten so much in this world. So much important stuff I've forgotten in this world. What do I do about it? I don't know. I'm a forgetful goldfish. I'm a forgetful baby. I'm a forgetful baby. I forget everything. So, all that said, that first special that I recorded ages and ages ago, that was a complete fucking wash in which I made every mistake an amateur would make. I'm glad I never released it. God, can you imagine the fucking transphobes who would dig that thing up and be like, you're always gonna be this guy. Yeah, fucking transphobes love digging up old photos as if the passage of time doesn't fucking exist. You know what I mean? I think I've said that before. That felt very familiar. Maybe that's just a thing I say so often that it feels like I've said it in PodGis. I'm sure I have. So anyways, all of this is sort of building up to me being really nervous that all the effort that I put into it is just going to bottom out, and I'm going to suffer another humiliating failure, which is what I would categorize that first special as, a humiliating favor, or failure. Humiliating favor. Humiliating failure. But, on second thought, it is not a failure if you learn from it. And boy, oh boy, did I learn from it. So I misspoke. I don't call it a failure. It was, oh God, it was a very, very valuable life lesson and a learning lesson. All of this talk makes me want to hit pause on this and go right to my emails and get right to like making demands and like as, hey, we need 3 cameras. I want them here, here, and here. Just like taking full fucking control. I'll be the director. I don't give a shit. Just give me the tech and stay out of my way. You know? Even though obviously I shouldn't be the one doing this. This is the first time I've directed. I don't want to direct. I want someone else to do it. God damn it. Help! Help! Help me! Oh, I have so much promoting to do. God damn. I've been doing interviews. I've been doing the press run in Toronto. Oh, my butt. I'm getting this chair so sweaty right now. My butt. I need to sit on something. I need a towel. Everywhere I sit, I need a towel. Hey, I don't know, I may have mentioned this on PodGis before, but, there's a phrase, there's a saying that, my Lithuanian relatives used to say about me when I was a handsome boy. They used to say, Viskas kur jis eina, Viskas kur, fuck it, Schlappe vieta I just remember those are the words, which means wet spot, and loosely translate, Schlappe vieta means wet spot, and I don't know the rest of the Lithuanian. I should take Duolingo Lithuanian. That thought crossed my mind. You know what I might do? I might take Lithuanian Duolingo. My family makes fun of my Lithuanian all the time. I'm the worst one in the family at it. I don't speak Lithuanian at all. They mock me for it. There are stories about me failing so epically when we all went to Lithuanian school that the teachers like made an example of me that resounded across the grades, and everyone heard legend of me like saying some really stupid things in Lithuanian that didn't make any grammatical sense at the age of 16, 17. So anyways, so I was thinking it would be so funny if I did Duolingo secretly until I was really proficient and then just busted it out at the next like family gathering at Christmas time, you know? All my Lithuanian older relatives who immigrated here after the war, they're all pretty much dead and gone. So it's not going to be as impressive, but it's still going to shock a lot of people. And if I had the time, or let's be honest, the interest, that would be such a fun, delightful, harmless prank. Is it even called a prank at that point? I think it's a prank. But anyways, oh, Schlappe vieta. Okay, so those are the 2 words that I remember from the phrase. The rest of it, I don't remember the Lithuanian. But it basically meant, they would say it in Lithuanian, it meant everywhere he goes, women leave a wet spot. That was what the Lithuanian phrase translated to. And so I'm doing a stand-up bit on this special about groomers and how it's so prevalent, grooming in heteronormative society, that we've all just become so accustomed to it that, you know, anything that deviates from that hetero norm can be seen as a threat, and this grooming, this, and I don't use this example, but I really should. It's the wet spot example where people would tell me that before I hit 16, before I hit whatever the age that, I think that's the age of consent, 16, what is it, 16, 18? I don't know. I don't touch fucking kids. I'm interested in old daddies, Thank God no one's ever going to accuse me of being no pedophile and have any sort of any remote contrived reason to back that shit up. Where was I? Oh yeah, so people would tell me like pre-16 years old, hey man, hey little boy, everywhere you go, the women leave a wet spot, little boy. You sexy little boy. I remember people would tell me that all the time. Guys, you wouldn't believe, growing up, I grew up modest. I still grew up modest. Can you tell? But people would straight up say I was like a sexy boy when I was little. Oh, how many girlfriends do you have, you sexy boy? How many girlfriends? That's such a thinly disguised, let's be real. How many girlfriends do you have, little boy, you sexy little boy? How much pussy are you slaying right now, little boy? This many pussy? That many pussy? And I just did the joke. That's the joke. That's the joke I'm doing on my special. Ruined it, burned it, whatever. That's my treat to you. Num 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 num. Little hors d'oeuvres. Little hors d'oeuvres. Oh, read your horoscope and eat some hors d'oeuvres. 10.1, these hoes are self-serve. 757-410, my cell phone just overloads. Do you guys remember that song? I've got hoes. What a fucking nasty, awesome song that is. They're just listing area codes. I think that's so clever. Nobody ever, well, maybe some people thought to do it, but they wrote the whole song about area codes. And like put the flow of the number, they're just listing numbers in such a fun, hilarious flow. And that was a funny song too. I love when rap is funny. Good funny rap is funny. Rappers need to take themselves less seriously. Rap beefs, it's like, who cares? You guys are rhyming at each other. Oh, how bad can you be when you're just two guys rhyming at each other, You're doing poetry at each other. That's romantic as shit. If anything, that's romantic. You guys should really kiss it out. You should hug it out. How about a little kiss, fellas? That's what I think about rap beefs. Any universe that takes itself hyper seriously is just ripe for comedy from the outside, Ripe for mockery, I'll say. But that's why I love rap that doesn't take itself seriously and is so funny. Ludacris had a bunch of funny music videos. Wasn't Xzibit a funny guy? Oh wow, I just accidentally opened up my Instagram inbox and one of the messages is, "Do you want to have fun with my dick?" I love that even the way these men talk about themselves. It's like, so you're not attached? They people who'd like reduce themselves to, maybe I'm just too much of a prude, but I guess this guy, maybe, you are what you are. And maybe this guy's like, well, I don't have a personality, so I might as well just reduce myself to the one best quality I have, which is my schlongus. My great big schlongus. I would love to be in the bedroom with the herald from medieval times. Some kind of a herald from medieval times. Madam, prepare for my big schlongus. And the banners go up. From far and wide, tales of its heroism resonate with the people. Madam, prepare to spread thine legs for mine massive schlongers. Two guys with big long trumpets in the background with banners. And my beautiful, handsome, sexy herald removes his trousers. His pentrousers. His pantaloons. Madam, I doff my pantaloons in anticipation of coitus. Proceed with penetration. And now we proceed with penetration. All right, that's enough. I'm gonna get a noise complaint. I only got $20 in my pocket. Whatever happened to Macklemore? Was he indeed a good rapper? Or was he a good rapper? Or was he just a guy? Just a guy with one... He was a one-hit wonder, sort of. No, he got like two big singles. He had a few hits. Macklemore, wherever he is, I wish him well. Wherever Ludacris is, I wish him well. Wherever Xzibit is, I wish him well. Wherever Busta Rhymes is, I wish him well. Busta Rhymes had funny songs too. I remember, I don't know if I've talked about this on PodGis, but one of my favorite video games all time is Def Jam Fight for New York for the Nintendo GameCube. I had the Nintendo GameCube, and my friends, when I got it, all laughed at me, and I vehemently... Is that how you pronounce that word? I always wondered. Let's find out. How vehement... Is it just vehemently? Because I really hit that H. Vehemently. Pronunciation. Vehemently. Oh, the H is silent. Vehemently. No, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's vehemently. Vehemently. So you go instead of huh. Vehemently. I don't like that. I like my pronunciation better. It's more deliberate. Vehemently. No, I have to do it right because people are going to make fun of me. Vehemently. I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. What even was I saying? Oh, I would vehemently, there it is, defend Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. And I remember after years and years, this was a short handful of years ago, I was like, hey, I should try Luigi's Mansion again and see if it's stood the test of time, if it's as good as I used to defend it being. And it got really boring really quickly. But also, I get bored now as an adult so much quicker. What happened? I'm playing the new Legend of Zorbus, Tears of the Kingdom. New Legend of Zorbus. And I think it's boring. I think it's so lame. I've spoken at length about this. I'm just going to say it one more time. New Zelda is chores. New Zelda is all side quests and chores. And I can't stand it. Like, the underground thing is cool for a while, and then you're just kind of running around. Give me something to do. Give me objectives that aren't collect 89 fucking mushrooms. You know? I don't care about the mushrooms. Something's tickling my face, and it's getting me mad. Anyways, Def Jam Fight for New York was one of my favorite all-time GameCube games. and it was so quotable. There were so many rappers. It was just rappers fighting, which was so fun. And in the career mode, in the story mode, the main bad guy is Snoop Dogg, except he doesn't play himself. Most of the rappers play themselves. It's this underground. The story is basically there's this underground street fighting league. And they have turf wars. There's two major teams. One is led by the boss, I think he's called. What was his name? And the boss or whatever. And Redman is like his biggest general. No, not Redman. Method Man is his greatest general. There was a bunch of Wu-Tang guys. And then on the other team, Snoop Dogg was the chief of the other side, and his name was Crow. And he was in charge, even though Snoop Dogg weighs 115 pounds soaking wet. He was like the big boss, you know? How do you kill him? Oh, I remember. And you do kill a lot of rappers. You throw them onto subway tracks, and they get hit by a subway. You break people's jaws, faces, arms, legs. You break bones. You smash 2x4s and hammers and wire cutters over people's heads. Pool cues. You curb stomp them. It was a really cool, violent game. And you could brutalize your least favorite rapper, you know? There were so many. Who did I like to kick? Whose ass? Freeway, I think his name was. He had like the upside down, instead of, who's Arnold's friend in Hey Arnold? The black kid with like the pencil eraser hair that goes straight up. He was bald, and then he had that on the bottom, a big pencil eraser beard. And I forget how he spoke, but I thought he was so dorky. And he used to be my favorite guy to fight. Him and Bubba Sparks. But I remember they would all have like quotes. They all like contributed their voices to this game. It was pretty big. There were a lot of rappers in that game. Like at least 100, I think. Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick. How many rapists were in Def Jam Fight for New York? Oh, more than 35. Wow. I thought it was 100. Busta Rhymes, Carmen Electra was in the game. Lil Kim was in the game. Ludacris, Method Man, Redman, Sean Paul, Slick Rick, Snoop Dogg, Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes were Snoop Dogg's cronies. His two main generals were those guys. And then whoever, I forget who Big Boss was. I think he was a made-up character on the good guy side. Method Man and Redman were their guys. Were their his main generals. And in the story mode, you at one point would have a girlfriend. You would fight a guy. Oh, yeah. This was so animalistic, was the way they did it. Was there would be a cutscene where your creative character would like show up at a bar. And I forget whose girlfriend it would be. You would pick from one of 5 girls, including like Carmen Electra and Lil Kim. And they would be arm candy for some wrestler. And you'd just walk up and hit on the girl. And he would go, yo, you want to go? And then you would fight. And then the cutscene would be just you leaving with the girl on your arm now. As if they were just like, wow. As if they were just brainless. Lil Kim we're talking about, you know? And Carmen Electra just being like, well, he defeated my boyfriend. So now I belong to him, I guess. Whoever is the best, winningest fighter, that's whose property I am. It was so, of course it's rap, it's misogynistic as all fuck. But these girls, like, these women, sorry, girls, who is the misogynist, you know? These women would, like, contribute to the game. And, 67 playable characters. See? Why would I just read lower? It's 67 playable characters. It says more than 35. Yeah, 67 is a lot more than 35, you Dorcas Malorcas. What the even hell? God, that game was so fun, though. What a fun game. Ice-T? I remember, before I even knew who Ice-T was, I used to think his design in the game was also super dorky. Ice-T was so Dorcas Malorcas in that game. God, those games were fun as shit, man. Violent as hell and fun as shit. Corny. You would train with Henry Rollins. He would be the gym manager. You would go to the gym and he'd be like, he'd say some tough guy shit like, "Let's talk and more lifting." And then he would start working out and he'd show you finishing moves. The rappers, there were so many voice lines that were so funny. Sean Paul and Elephant Man, you had no idea what they were saying. No idea. Their patois was so thick. I remember Elephant Man. I would be able to imitate him without knowing what the fuck he said. You know? Like another language. He was just like, he would go, "Eh." That's how he would start. He would come in and go, "Eh. Como you wanna come on with a bad man?" See? Am I allowed to say that? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. "Eh. Como you wanna come on with a bad man?" And one of the venues was like this Jamaican bar. And you could hear there would always be a commentator over top, and like the commentator was like half Jamaican, I would say, where it would be like, "Oh, man's got smashed up," or whatever, you know. You'd fight Fat Joe and Snoop, and there were 5 different fighting styles, and you could mix and match, and your character would incorporate. It was cool, the fight system. Like Snoop Dogg was a kung fu martial arts master. He would do flips and high kicks off walls and shit. And then the big boss fight, you would fight in a burning building, and you had to smash him up against a window 3 times to break the window open. And then whoever threw the other guy out the open window first won. And that's how you would kill him. You would throw him out the window. You would throw Snoop Dogg, Kung Fu Snoop Dogg, out of a window to kill him. And the story was, you would fight through all of his bad guys. You'd be like, the top, this new fighter, he's the best. He's top of the best. And then there would be a turn where Snoop Dogg and Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe stole your girlfriend, who was a total hussy. And at one point, you control the girlfriend that you won in that first fight, and you get to change girlfriends if you want. They give you 2 new options, and you can either stick with your girlfriend. The girls fight. You have a cat fight where with, like, let's say Carmen Electra. The reverse happens where your guy is chilling at the bar, and then Lil' Kim would come over and start hitting on you, and Carmen Electra would be like, "You want to go, bitch?" And then he would control the 2 women, and you'd fight Lil' Kim versus Carmen Electra. But before you fought, you got to pick who you wanted to be, and so you could switch over and be like, "Yeah, fuck you, Carmen. I'm with Kim now." And then you would kick Carmen Electra's ass as Lil' Kim, and then the hero would be like, "Well, she won. These are the rules. This is my new girlfriend." And then your character would walk out with Lil' Kim with a black eye because she got her ass kicked. While after like knocking out Carmen Electra with a pair of wire cutters. It was so violent. And then the story, Snoop Dogg, Snoop. Did you hear how I pronounced that? Snoop Dogg. What time do I have to get out of here, by the way? I gotta make sure I'm not late. Okay, I gotta leave soon. Shit. Snoop Dogg would, at one point he would, kidnap your girlfriend, whichever one at the time, and no, you couldn't just go back to the old one and be like, whatever, that bitch wasn't tough enough to not get kidnapped. She deserves it. She lost the fight. These are the rules. But she gets kidnapped, and your hero now apparently is madly in love with her and would do anything to get her back. And Snoop Dogg convinces you, he's like, flip over to my turf's team and go back and kick the asses of everyone on your old turf, and you'll get your girlfriend back. And you're not allowed, and he's like, and if you say anything, then I'm killing her. And so I don't think he even says that part. Your character just decides to keep it a secret from everyone. And you run through everybody, Method Man and Redman and Xzibit and all these people that you've never heard of unless you're a big rap fan, which I was not. I was just a fan of violence. And Pimp My Ride. Oh, Xzibit from Pimp My Ride is in this game? Oh, I get to play as the Pimp My Ride guy? Sweet. Who the hell is Fat Joe? That's funny. Boy, these writers, they made up a guy named Fat Joe who's just big and fat. Unreal. Terror Squad. Boy, the things these writers come up with. Anyways, gonna play the main character Xzibit from Pimp My Ride now. So anyways, where was I? Oh, I was gonna say something else. God, that game was so fun. Except, when you pick up old games and you play them again, rarely do they really hold up. Games have gotten so advanced, and not just in graphics. I've never been one of those graphics sluts who's like, oh, but the graphics, Like, I'll be impressed, but it's never a priority. It's all about the gameplay, man. And story is very important, too. Which is why this new Legend of Zorbus, has no fucking story. It's all just... Hello, can you catch 50 different types of fish for me? Good luck. When people say, oh, I put 100 hours into Zelda. Yeah, how many of those hours were fucking fishing? Legend of Zelda Fishing Simulator 2023. Get the fuck out of here. Hashtag not my Zelda. Hashtag not my Zorbus. I miss the old days when you used to be able to just pick your favorite rapper from a car renovation show and whoop the ass of some guy named Snoop Dogg. I miss the old days where you used to fight over Carmen Electra as the guy from Pimp My Ride, and you would fight that one dude, what's his name, who's always on that show with Martha Stewart. You would fight the guy from the Martha Stewart show. Pimp My Ride versus Martha Stewart's friend. Is there name a more iconic duo than Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart? I'll wait. Pretty iconic. Gotta love him. I love how, wholesome Snoop Dogg sort of became in his older age. He's so likable, that guy. He is so fucking likable. God, Snoop Dogg. And I always liked Busta Rhymes as a personality and Xzibit. I know, 2 of their songs each. But they seem fun. Typical Whitey. Suburban Whitey. God, there was something I forgot to say. The lines. I was talking about trust me, I was going to talk about the special taping and the prep and what's going on in my head. But you get me started on Def Jam Fight for New York. Oh yeah, I was talking about you pick up old games. They don't. A lot of them don't hold up. You ever play GoldenEye 64? Ugh. That gets a huge ugh. I can't tolerate more than 5 minutes of that multiplayer of multiplayer. I mean, multiplayer is even worse. One player was still fun, but not really. It was, as far as I'm concerned, like the Freud of first-person shooters, where it's like, you've done great to open the door, to kick it off. You're the godfather, the grandfather, whatever they call them. Do they call them the godfather or grandfather? Freud. Grandfather? Yeah, the grandfather, not the godfather. Anyone can be a godfather. Including Marlon Brando. Where was I going with this? GoldenEye. I swear, pick up GoldenEye on original N64, play with your friends, and I dare you to get past 5 minutes. Maybe you can, and maybe you can stretch that out if you do one of the goofy ones like golden gun or mines or grenades, the big explosive ones, mayhem. If you're playing on like regular mode, it's the shooting, the aiming. Old games, unfortunately, barely hold up. I remember Steve and my roommate and friend, one person, not two. It's totally possible to be friends with your roommate. It's 2023. Get with the program, people. Don't be a bigot. You can be friends with your roommate. When I say roommate and friend, I mean one person, not two. Anyway, Steven, my roommate and friend, one person, not two, encouraged me to play Super Metroid or one of the Metroids, the big one, biggest Metroid game. Metroid Big Game, whichever one that one is. The iconic one. I guess the old ones all were? I don't know. But he was like, this is the one. And I was like, it was fine. But it didn't captivate me. Not nearly as much as the newest Metroid, where they had the same scheme, the whole two-dimensional maze platforming Metroidvania. Did you know that Metroid is a Metroidvania game? Metroid is the original Metroidvania. And it was, the new one is, everything just gets better with time. I've said this a million times, things get better with time. You can be a complete nostalgia slave, or you can get with the times. However, all this to say, except for the new Zorbus, Zelda peaked at Wind Waker. Controversial take, but I'm doing it. Well, you can, excuse me, I burped. What are you going to do about it? Zelda peaked at Wind Waker. End transmission. Boom. Mic drop. What you going to do about it? Hot take. Zelda peaked at Wind Waker. I'm going to tweet that. That's a tweet. You ever meet somebody who ever says that? What a stupid, that's a tweet. Pathetic. So funny. Silly. Oh yeah, that's a tweet. Okay, I really gotta run. Def Jam Fight for New York. I remember I picked it up one time. I played it for a little bit. It was fun for 10 minutes, and then I remembered, this is also the unfortunate thing. Some games, I so mastered that playing against other people was pointless because nobody played that game as much as me. And playing against the computer was pointless because at that point I had figured out all the tricks and I knew, and like, how do you roll that back? How do you take it easy on a CPU character? You know what I mean? It's very difficult. So I picked it up again and I got that hit of nostalgia, but then, you remember that, oh yeah, I'm infinitely better than the CPU and this isn't fun anymore because I played so much of it growing up that they don't stand a chance. Same with Sega Soccer Slam. God, I could talk about that game. Oh, I could talk about that game forever. I'm leaving Sega Soccer Slam for next. I don't know if you guys cared or not about any of what I talked about, but I spoke with passion. And if you don't speak with passion, if there's no passion in your life, go on and get one. Okay? That's what I say. Even if you don't relate to any of the things I say, surely you can get on board with passion. And I want to make it relatable and funny to all of you. You don't have to have played the game. I hope I've made you curious enough that you'll look it up and you'll see what I'm talking about. That Snoop Dogg was a kung fu master in this video game long ago. It's the real deal. Def Jam Fight for New York for Nintendo GameCube. Such a fun game. What a delight. Okay. And Sega Soccer Slam. I'll talk about Sega Soccer Slam next time. Because, oh boy, the characters on that one. Snoop Dogg and Busta Rhymes are in it. No, I'm kidding. Haha. Okay. If you are in Toronto and you're listening to this on the week of, if you're listening to this before September 15th, 16th, go to comedybar.ca. Go to the search bar, type in Alval. You will find the page for my tickets. Get tickets to my special taping. It is going to be, after I did my set on the weekend and ran my hour, I realized this shit is fire. I am ready to go. It's awesome. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have so much fun. Therefore, you're going to have so much fun. I'm going to bring you into my world. It's going to be the best. And then when it eventually comes out, it'll take the world by storm. But you should be there if you can make it. I can't recommend enough that you do. So get tickets online. September 15th, 16th, Comedy Bar, 7 p.m. And as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been PodGis. I love you. Mwah. Thank you. Goodbye.